we just got out of Blair Witch. Fuck. That was extremely pointless. It was the original Blair Witch project, but if they had all had like a million cameras with them.
That movie felt like it was 100 hours long.
Yeah, there's a time warp in this movie, and it felt like we were stuck in that fucking time warp watching this. We were like only an hour in. I'm like, this feels like it's been going like 5 days. Like,
yeah.
Fucking guy in the woods said, we've been here for 5 days.
I mean, we knew it was going to be shit going into it, but man, was it shit.
They had such flimsy excuses, too, for, like, a bunch of things. Like, for jump scares, of course. Like, it's just, apparently, all these people are like, all right, we're camping out in the woods. We should always just sneak up on each other. Ah! Just jump into their eyesight. Ah!
They don't, yeah.
Like, just such artificial shit jump scares in this damn thing constantly.
I would say 99% of the jump scares were exactly what you just said. The person's got the camera in front of their face and they're looking at something and someone magically sneaks up, sometimes in front of them.
Yeah, a lot of the
just
time.
beside. And there's you constantly hear trees getting stepped on and there's so many noises.
Yeah. Like you were saying,
every
like,
jump scare.
Yeah, like you're saying too, when
one.
they're just in the dark and like the Anchorman thing, loud noises.
Yeah,
like
that's the whole movie.
Yeah,
you could sum it up in just saying loud noises. The movie.
Yeah, they're when they're in the dark, they don't even have to show anything. Like, and they're not. All you see is them like shaking the damn fucking camera,
or the camera spritzing and kind of.
And it's just like, oh wow, they're in the dark. Oh, shut up.
And then that idiot Lane, like, what was his girlfriend's name? The one with the weird colored hair?
I forget.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't even fucking remember. There was 6 people in the whole movie. Can't remember their names. I don't even remember the main guy's name now, and we just heard his name at the end.
Yeah. I remember the black guy who was kind of a jerk's name was Peter. Because they said it a lot.
Yeah. Samantha? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. His was the one I remember just because they yelled his name a lot because he was one of the first from the core group to go missing.
I remember in the first movie they don't explain very much, but this one was so stupid because they had so much room to improve on that stupid first one. The one girl cuts her foot, and you see this kind of... They try to tape it up, and then later on in the movie they undo the tape, and you can see it's kind of a nasty-looking cut now. But then something kind of bulges through it like it's trying to get out of her foot. And they never explain it.
Yeah.
And then later she gets a cut further up her leg and she pulls a parasite thing out of it. But they never explain that either. They never explain where she went when she died.
She's infected with Blair Witch flu virus. Fucking hell.
And then it sounded like Bigfoot was walking around the woods.
Yeah, or Big Show.
Or 8 Big Shows. Andre the Giant.
Joking that, like, when the Peter guy goes missing, they just see Big Show in the woods choke slamming him back to sleep constantly.
Yep.
It's like he wakes up, or doing the lazy punch.
I don't know if they were trying to scare us by making them wake up at 2, because they go to bed at night and they wake up at 2 in the afternoon and they're like, oh, that's so weird. How'd we sleep until 2? Like, it's supposed to be a big scary thing. Like, the characters sucked, the movie sucked, and we could sit here and break apart all the stupid jump scares, but man, it was just a shit movie.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping the foot, like, they'd amputate her foot and it'd, like, turn into, like, the Evil Dead 2 hand where it crawls around, turn into a foot monster.
That wouldn't have made the movie worse.
No, it would have given it more than what they did. Like, it was pretty much just Blair Witch 1 again. But,
just with more cameras.
Yeah, more cameras.
That don't ever die.
Yeah, there's one camera in this stupid movie that runs out of battery. Otherwise, these guys can record forever. They don't have to worry about their hard drive space or like the SD cards they're recording to, whatever they're on. It's just, it can go infinite. No worries with that, and no batteries, except one camera. One camera runs out of battery pretty quickly compared to all the rest of them, too.
Yeah.
And they're recording stupid stuff. Like, they're recording them playing games. They're just like, oh, we're just being casual here playing games, and, oh, we're going to the club. They have, like, 4 cameras or something recording these dummies talking about how they're going to go to the woods while in a noisy club, because this was the best place to get footage for your documentary about trying to find Buddy's sister. in the woods. You're like, oh, let's go to the noisy club. Yeah, it'll be really good. Bring 4 cameras. Like, ridiculous.
And it never seemed vested. The main character never seemed vested in the fact he was trying to save his sister. He's always more on the walk, like, this is cool, man.
Yeah.
We're on this journey.
They were
It was
really
never
stupid, yeah.
And then they explained that the guy Peter had gone there as a kid, and then the other doofy character Lane was like, maybe this is the reason you came back, because she wants you to come back and get you this time. But they never expand on any of these plot points that could actually go somewhere.
That was that curly black hair guy's name?
Yeah,
right?
not Danny McBride.
Yeah. He reminded me of 8-Bit Mickey. You don't know who that is, but...
No, I was thinking of the Danny McBride from This Is the End and Eastbound and Down.
Oh, yeah,
He had that same hair.
Yeah. There's also a guy I know called 8-Bit Mickey. He kind of looks like him, too. But, yeah, like him and his girlfriend were 2 that weren't part of this main group. They met them, though, because they lived around the Blair Witch Woods area.
Yeah.
And it's like, it flip-flopped. Whether the main group was more serious about stuff or they were. It's just like, oh, we're being jokey about it. We don't really care. Next scene, we're the serious ones about this, and you guys don't really care.
That was like the Blair Witch part.
Yeah.
The camera fell. Oh my god.
Oh, just shake that shit.
And then at one point, Lane, they go to bed and they wake up, and then there's all these, the Blair Witch wooden stick things. And you're like, oh, this could be interesting. They're actually in the paranormal world spot now. And then they learn that Lane set all those up to just fuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yeah, I did it because I faked it because it's real.
Yeah, and I wanted you guys to take it serious or something.
Yeah.
Or want to leave, even though, like, the night before they put up all these stupid fake Blair Witch symbols, they hear this loud noise, which is probably either a really large animal that they should get away from or just...
A tree falling.
Yeah, something magical. Well, it's like a growl, I think, too.
The lumberjack witch.
Yeah, lumberjack witch. I guess she is the one who cut those logs when they go in. They're like, no one comes around here, even though there's cut logs right here.
And signs around that say, don't sleep the night, or whatever it is.
No one comes here except lumberjacks, like the Blair Witch. She has to make more houses around these woods.
And you never know what happened with Lane. They never really explain that. You just know that he's trying to serve the Blair Witch. But the time loop's real, because they go to bed and they wake up at 2, and then there's one scene where they wake up at 7 in the morning and it's still pitch black nighttime outside.
Mm-hmm.
And then they see Lane and his girlfriend, and they go, Lane and his girlfriend say, oh my god, it's you guys. When was the last time we saw you? Like, oh, earlier today. He goes, we haven't seen you for 5 days.
Yeah.
And then the next time you see him, he's in the Blair Witch's house, and his hair's like
I don't know
2
how
feet longer.
He knows it's been 5 days, though, because he also said, like, it's never been light again for them either, has it?
No, and his GPS didn't work, and he had no reception, so his cell phone...
Yeah,
maybe
so
his phone
I don't
would
know
keep
how he's...
time.
Yeah, if he had his phone working, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, but I guess the time thing
They've
is
just
real
been
for
wandering
him.
around for 5 days.
Yeah.
I guess at least they found somewhere to get some water and something to eat, or they'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a stupid movie. Usually
really
we have fun with these and we can joke around about stuff, but I just hate it.
It was amazingly stupid. Like,
And slow as fuck.
yeah, I hate all these characters. They're all annoying because Lane and his girlfriend, like, they're dumb. They set up these fake things, but the main group isn't any better. They act like douchebags before this. Like, when Lane and his girlfriends are the ones taking it serious as they're walking in, they were like, oh, do you ever see like Blair Witch? Oh, you're so stupid. And then it's like, oh, but we're taking it serious by the fire later. Just
Well, they kept flip-flopping
idiots.
dialogue. Like, one scene, they would go to the guy, like all those people that died. And then the 4 of them would laugh and Lane would be all sad.
Yeah.
But seriously.
Yeah.
That was funny a second ago, but now I'm really...
Yeah, but now it's not.
Now it's not.
Yeah. They'd also do like, but seriously, we gotta go.
Yeah,
I
like
love
20
that.
times in the movie, they're like, okay, it got a little bit creepy, let's go.
Yeah.
But then they go further in. Okay, now let's go further in.
I love near the end, though, especially, like, when they're already, they've been trying to leave this whole time. The loud noises in the woods keep going on. They're like,
Paranormal
all right,
as fuck.
we gotta go. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you were doing.
We're in the house with infinite doors that don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
We'll just jump out the
Those
window,
like
maybe.
layers of fear there at the end when they're in the house and they turn around and it's this like different doors instead behind
Silent
them.
Hill layers of fear.
Yeah, and just then that infinite loopy spot where he went up the stairs twice, I guess. Yeah, it just becomes a first-person thing for a bit as he's going through the house because for some reason he doesn't have multiple cameras on him, which is the only time that happens. Like, oh, speaking of the dumb camera thing, like there's one part where they're recording themselves sleeping, just for no reason. There's also a time when Peter's pissing and he's like, "You better delete this footage." Like, don't record it then.
Yep, now I'm going to have a shit. Man, she better delete this poo.
You can't have infinite space on these things, but they do, but it would be such a nightmare to edit this thing if it was real. You'd have like 24 hours of footage from like how many people? 7 or something? Like, ugh.
I'd love to know where the $5 million budget went.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was...
And Lane has like a DV camera, which is using no DV tapes. So it's like, those have like around an hour's worth of footage they can record. So apparently he's got like, I don't know, 100 of those.
Tapes.
Yeah, like, I don't know how that's working. Also, they blame him for the footage like from that they find on YouTube that leads them to going there in the first place to find Idiot's sister. They're like, that was recorded with a DV camera too. So were you behind that? Like, DVs.
Yeah, there's only one DV camera on
that's
Earth.
the only thing. That wasn't standard before everything went digital or anything. It must have been him. He is DV Tapes Incorporated.
And they never even planned. They were going into the woods and they went to this part where they had to cross a little lake and they're like, oh, better take all our shoes off because we weren't smart enough to wear fucking boots.
Yeah, idiots. Yeah, we're gonna go deep into these woods. Oh, I didn't expect this. The only thing we prepared for was 1 million cameras.
But if they wore the boots, then she wouldn't have got the foot infection that went to nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So then we wouldn't have got that answer that we didn't
Yeah,
get.
well, I mean, you said, like, they mentioned there was that part where someone got strung up in a tree and they stretched them, and you're like, oh, that's probably what's going to happen to her. And then instead,
She just falls off the tree.
Yeah, just the same thing you've seen in every Blair Witch movie. Someone falls, you see them drug off, while the camera kind of shows a little, but not much.
Like, you don't expect much from any kind of movie like this, but if they say something at the start, do it at the end. At least there's a little bit of follow through at that point.
Yeah.
Because they said the way they killed the Blair Witch in the storybooks was they strung her up in a tree to have her just die from exposure, but then they put rocks on her to kind of like torture rack her to death.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one point when this girl with the foot infection is climbing a tree to get this drone camera thing out of the tree that magically still works after like 4 fucking days of not battery changing.
Yeah, like, was it stuck in a time loop too? It could have been there for more days.
Yeah. Apparently she works at the same.
Yeah.
So she's in the tree and you're like, oh, okay, this is the part where she's probably going to fall off the tree and it's going to catch her and she's going to be strung against it and then somehow torture racked. That would have been cool. At least you would have went, oh, they followed through on something they talked about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But there were so many points in the movie where they mentioned things you're like, oh, if they do that later, that could be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Even at one point they say if you look the Blair Witch right in the eyes, it's kind of like the ring monster. It'll just kill you instantly.
Yeah.
But there's a couple points where you know that they look right at her and nothing happens.
Well, apparently it's okay if you look at her through a viewfinder. I don't know. Like
Medusa.
Yeah. Because she does that a couple times. Like, at the end, they're standing in a corner, not looking at her. Then both the dummies end up doing it because the Blair Witch talks like them, I guess, to trick them or some shit.
Yeah, she can ventriloquist and be their same voice.
But the girl with the camera who had just looked at the thing through her viewfinder is fine. She hears the stupid idiot's voice, and so she turns and looks at him, and then that kills her.
But he just died like 3 seconds before that. He was like, it's me and Phelan are standing next to each other, and then I'm looking at this way, and he's looking that way, and then there's a voice in the back seat, and Phelan goes, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And then he just dies and flies out the window 100 feet. And then I hear Phelan right behind me like, oh, that must be Phelan, even though I just saw him die.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm dead now?
Yeah, even though she's got a thing right there that she can look to check with. She's got the solution right there, and she goes, nah, I should just look myself, because that'll get me killed.
And it shows nothing behind her.
Mm-hmm.
In the
Well, of
viewfinder.
course it's not going to. You can't get a good look at it. You just have to see, like, as it shakes by.
But she made Peter, the Blair Witch made it look like Peter was standing in the corner in one of the rooms. So if she wanted to, theoretically, she could have put the guy that just died 2 seconds ago in the viewfinder, so it at least looked like he was there. And then she could have turned around. That would have been better.
Yeah, that would have at least explained it a little better.
Then you could have heard Darth
Darth Maul.
Not Darth Maul either. Dark Helmet from Spaceballs go, "Fooled you."
Yeah.
Dead.
That would have been perfect if they had put that sound clip right at the end. It'd be like, this is a good movie.
Yeah. Fooled you.
Saved the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and just that one part I forgot to mention where she's crawling after Lane is like all disheveled because he's been stuck in the house for years.
Apparently.
I guess the Blair Witch has at least fed him, so he's not dead. But yeah, she don't give him a haircut or a shave, so he's got long hair and a beard by the time they find him in the house. And he throws her into, like, I don't know what it is.
A basement with one of those doors that you slam, like from Don't Breathe. Just like a cellar door kind of thing.
Cellar. Yeah, but of course there's a crawl space in it.
Yeah.
And then she keeps throwing. It was Lane's camera, I guess she had by this point, but she keeps throwing that ahead of her to record herself crawling before it cuts back to her ear cam. Like, they come up with such stupid reasons why there's a shot in some of these things that they can cut to. It's like they're a found footage movie, but they don't really want to commit to that. So there's cameras everywhere.
I'd love to know where the director thought that this was a win. At what point he thought the camera angles made the movie cool instead of just a cool story.
And if you really want to see a lot of, like, oh, well, we're setting this up, like, constant, just them turning a camera on, it's so annoying to watch because there's a lot of that, just for no reason, too. They just cut to them turning a camera and shaking it. Just for, like, a transition, almost.
I think a good movie would actually be from the Blair Witch's perspective. That'd be way more interesting.
The Blair Witch recording.
Yeah.
It's like, I've heard legends of people coming into my woods. I'm gonna check it out.
She's got a button she presses, activate time loop.
Yeah.
Activate Yeti chopping down trees.
Yeah. That'd be a good comedy, like, just seeing her setting this stupid stuff up.
Yep. Like a video of Jason running between the takes.
Yeah, and just like, all right, they're going through the lake. All right, time to get her with my foot parasite thing.
Yep.
Which
like
does,
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, what does it do? I don't really know.
Yeah. Freaks out Peter for a second. That's about it.
Excellent.
And then it makes it so she can't walk sometimes.
Sometimes.
But
But she can climb a tree.
Trees. Yep.
That was so ridiculous. Oh, my foot.
Yep.
No.
It's because she was about to die.
Yeah.
So Blair Witch
she had to go there to die.
Climbing powers.
Yeah. Blair Witch lets them do what she wants when it's plot convenient to do so.
Yep.
Ugh. Anyway, yeah, this movie's pretty good. 5 out of 5.
Yep. Definitely.
Yeah, it's Blair Witch 1 again with more cameras. And like Blair Witch 1, the main thing it had going for it was dummies believing that they really found footage of people dying in the woods and said, let's put it in theaters. I'm just like, you think that happened? You really think that happened? And like, it can't work again, so why? There's like almost no reason for this movie to exist and for it to cost $5 million because it doesn't show that.
And it's the first day since it's been released. And there was a theater that we went to, the only theater in town, and we were the only 2 people watching this movie.
Mm-hmm.
The day after it came out.
It's excitement she wrote for this movie.
Yep.
Well, we're just going to record ourselves getting hungover. This will be good footage for Blair Witch.